All right, today I want to go over 5 simple steps to grow your Etsy shop faster than 99% of other shops. Let's dive in. All right, here we go. This is my latest stats. I just did the screenshot this morning of my best performing shop, $550,000 in revenue. So I've learned a couple of things along my journey in selling on Etsy over the last several years that I want to share with you. Before we dive into these 5 steps, I want to start with 2 truths. Because if this was so easy, why wouldn't everyone be able to do it? Well, because there's 2 truths that really hold a lot of people back. And that's what I'm going to start with. So the 2 truths are, the first one is people severely underestimate the amount of work it will take to find success selling online. It is a lot of work, and a lot of people think that it's not as much work because it's online. It may be quote unquote easier. It's not a brick and mortar, but it is still just as much work. If you want to be able to find success, you got to put the time in, you got to put the work in. And at the forefront, early on, you're going to be spending a lot more time with very little reward, which is what really trips people up and makes them want to quit and not continue because it's painful. It's a painful process. Your body doesn't like, the human mind doesn't like that pain. It doesn't like to feel like it's a failure. And most people cannot get past that. The second is consistency is what holds most shops back. So if you get past the first one, the second one is you're just not consistent enough. Most people it'll come in waves. You know, you first get started, you're super motivated, you do a lot, and then what happens? You don't see the results right away, so you're less motivated, you do less work, you're less consistent. So when you can manage to do work with no motivation, that is key. Then you've had it. Then you've found a winning combination, and most people cannot do that. Which makes it really hard. But those are the 2 truths. So that is kind of a mindset thing before we dive into the 5 steps. So just keep that in mind. So let's go. First step, number 1 is going to be the 80-20 rule. We want to base the things that we do on actual real life strategies. We don't want to do things willy-nilly. We don't want to do things just to do things, right? We want to base it on things that we can measure, and things that we can be strategic about, so it will save us time and we're not wasting the very little amount of time that we have, especially if you have family, if you're working still, some of you are working part-time, full-time, 2 jobs, whatever the case may be. So you have limited time, but we still need to dedicate it to our business in a smart way. So the 80-20 rule, if you don't know what that is, 80% of your effort leads to 20% of the results. Or in terms of like Etsy or anything that you're putting out there, 80% of your listings won't do well. The other 20% usually will do well. So the 80-20 rule is what I want to keep in the back of your mind as you're going through this process. And the key to this is, okay, we know 20% of our listings will do better than 80% of our listings. So the goal is to find that 20% as fast as possible so we can leverage it as fast as possible so we can start moving along. How do you do that? Well, the first and foremost, you have to target a niche. You have to have a group that you're targeting because it is your path. It is your beacon. And a lot of people are like, I see this still to this day, like just target trend items, just target random stuff, and that is all well and good, but that is not a sustainable strategy. You may find some success on that, but it's going to be so one-off, it's going to be so random, and you're going to have no direction, that you're going to be kind of grasping at straws nonstop. And it's going to just make things a lot harder, and you're going to eventually quit because it's not a sustainable model. So that is key number 1. So find your niche, your target audience. Who is your product for? Who is buying your item? Who will continue to buy your item? That is key. And you will use that as a beacon, like I said, to release products and make products serving that audience. If you want to make a product, you should ask yourself, is that audience that I originally started to serve going to buy this? If not, then that's not the right product to make. You want to stay within that niche, especially early on, so that you can move a lot faster, which is the goal. All right, that brings us to step 2. So once we have our niche, we want to build out product lines serving that niche. So your niche is here, right? This is your target market. This is your audience. This is who you're serving. So then we want to think, okay, what products do we want to offer So I have a product serving this niche. Well, I'm not going to do one-off products. I want to do product lines. So maybe my niche is, women who like costume jewelry. Maybe I do like fancy costume jewelry. So this, maybe the first product line is going to be bracelets. Well, I'm not going to do just one bracelet. I'm going to do this type of bracelet. Maybe I'm going to do another bracelet. 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 And we want to build out a full product line serving this particular niche. So this enables us to test a lot more and start to see which ones are going to do well. But it also gives the algorithm more keywords, more products, more listings serving that specific niche to help you capture more traffic. Because Etsy's main goal, the algorithm's main goal, is to match the buyer with the best customer, or match the best customer with the best buyer. And they're going to put products in front of customers that they feel like they're going to buy. And a good indication of that is a seller that really caters to that particular niche with multiple product lines, multiple products serving what that customer is looking for. If you just sell one bracelet, that's not going to be shown to many people. But if you have 20, 30 bracelets, chances are that's going to be shown to way more people. Not only just from a number standpoint, because you have your title, which is 140 characters. You have your tags. You have 13 tags, 22 characters each. You have your description with all these keywords. So all this data duplicated across listings helps the algorithm see who you're targeting. So it's multiplying that data and giving as much information as possible, strictly from a numbers standpoint. So that is key number one. So think about it. Think about which product lines you're going to release, and you can start with just one product line. You don't have to have a bunch. Ideally, your product line, you should build that out and have 10, 15, 20 products that you're slowly releasing over time to serve that particular niche. So that's step one. Step two is step three is going to be find winners in each product line. So this is another reason. This is going to enable you to see results a lot faster because you're just giving a lot more data. But then over time, as you're releasing more products for this product line, you're going to start to see which listings are getting traffic. It's going to start with traffic. You're going to start to see which listings are getting more traffic. And then eventually you're going to start to see which listings are getting sales. So maybe, 80-20 rule, you have 10 listings, 2 are probably going to start to do decent over time, right? This takes time. It's not going to be overnight, right? So maybe these 2 listings start to sell or get a lot of traffic. So then look at these 2 listings. Maybe this is a flower costume jewelry. Maybe it's a rose, flower, gold costume jewelry. And then maybe this one is, rose, gold, lily costume jewelry, right? So that tells you a couple of things. Okay, people like gold. They like flowers in their costume jewelry. So that is giving us some really good breadcrumbs to follow. And then that is the information that we're going to use for the next step, for step 4, which is going to be create more winners based on current winners, right? So many people will see that they start to have some winners, and then they go the complete opposite direction, which is going to make your life a lot harder. It's going to make things be a lot slower, right? So follow these breadcrumbs. So you found these 2 winners. So then what do we want to do? We know our costume jewelry, rose gold costume jewelry is doing well. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do more rose gold costume. I think I said rose gold, or I said gold rose costume jewelry. I'm getting lost. I don't know what example I used, but you get the point. I don't know what I'm talking. I'm like, what the heck? But anyways, a rose that's costume jewelry that's also gold. So maybe we do another one that's like a batch of roses, or a different design of roses, or maybe we try one that's silver. See if that does well if you don't have anything silver. So you get the point. We're going to release more products related to those winning products to see if we can capitalize on that, because our audience is telling us something. They're telling us that they like that. So let's do more of what's working to see if we can kind of leverage that and get even more sales and more traffic. And then step 5 is kind of along the same principles. We're going to leverage current winners in different ways. So this is the kind of the next step. So we did these, we see these winners, we're doing more similar listings, but we can also leverage it in different ways. So maybe we want to start to release other listings for different variations. So maybe we want to do like a silver rose necklace, or maybe we want to do, we know the flowers are doing good, so maybe I want to do different flowers in terms of the necklaces. Or maybe I want to offer a bracelet set with a similar design on it. So there's a lot of different ways that we can kind of leverage this to follow the path, to follow the breadcrumbs, to see what is working over time. And so many people don't follow this, which is why you're not moving that fast. If you follow this path and these steps and really look into your listings and what is starting to work and start to leverage that and then leverage it again and leverage it again, more than not, you're going to find your 20% a lot faster, and then your 20% is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because your listings are going to grow, but you're using what's working. So your 20%, your success rate is going to increase and get a lot better, and you're going to get a lot more sales. Now, with all that, so that's kind of how you leverage it via these steps. Here's kind of a different, I know I used an example there. Here's a different example. So let's just say your niche is printable wedding planner niche. So maybe your product line is planners, maybe we do budget trackers, maybe we do seating charts. And then over time, we see which one performs. Maybe this planner starts selling or gets a lot more traffic. So what does that tell us? We're not going to really focus on the other two right now. We're going to focus and double down, triple down on planners because that's what's working. Why waste our time in other areas? So then we're going to do more of what's working in different ways. Maybe we're going to do more versions. Maybe we're going to do a floral theme, maybe a rustic theme, minimalist theme, different planner variations to see if we can get those to sell as well. And then we're going to leverage the winners again in other ways. So maybe we're going to offer bundle packs. Maybe we're going to do editable formats. Maybe we're going to do matching thank you cards to complement the planner. So there's a lot of different ways that you can start to leverage what is working, leverage it again, so you can move a lot faster. Here's some keys to success throughout this process to help you kind of drive this home. Do post listings every week. So according to these guidelines, try to post something every week. Every time you post a listing, it forces the algorithm to reanalyze that listing, reanalyze your shop, and try to target those listings to different traffic. So that is why it's important to stay fresh, stay consistent when it comes to this. The next is do not post random listings that don't serve your niche. It is all right at some point to move kind of into an adjacent niche or a sub niche, but think about it in terms of product lines and ultimately think about it in terms of your niche. If it's way in left field, it's going to be a lot harder to push that, and it's not going to make as much sense, and it's going to confuse the algorithm, and it's going to make things a lot more difficult. Do not delete 80% of listings not performing well, right? Those 80% of underperforming listings are still helping give the algorithm data to find your target audience. The worst thing that you can do is go in and start to delete those listings because then your traffic is definitely going to dip. Now, over time, you may want to tweak those listings to try to get them to perform better. You may want to remove stuff periodically, but you want to build out your catalog, especially early on. And with that comes a lot of listings that aren't going to do great in terms of sales, but they're still going to bring you in traffic. People are going to bounce from those listings to other listings. So just keep that in mind before you delete a bunch of listings. Do test. So a lot of this comes down to testing as much as possible, trying different variations, trying different listings, of course, trying different keywords, keyword strategies. I mean, that's all part of the game. SEO is a big part of this, but a lot of success comes from this strategy and putting everything in place to give the algorithm a lot of data and to give a lot of information to help find that traffic. And finally, the best thing that you can do if you want to move 10 times, 20 times faster is hop over and join my VIP program. So this is a fantastic program where I put all these strategies in play for you. I can help dive into your particular niche, dive into your shop and give you specific strategies like, hey, do this, A, B, C, so you know exactly what to do, so you're not kind of dangling trying to figure it out. There's a link below. Right now you can try this for free. It's an amazing resource. After the free trial, it's just $10 a month. Similar programs are hundreds or thousands of dollars, which is ridiculous because you're trying to grow your business. I don't want to strap you for cash. This is an investment in yourself, and I guarantee if you join this, you're not going to want to leave. Most people have been with me for a very long time. I help you out with your SEO. All you have to do is post in this thread here. I'll do your titles, tags for you. We'll help you strategize. I help run product trend reports. I have an AI, a super awesome AI workflow set up to help run trend reports so that you can release product lines that actually sell. And then this is here for questions. There's a classroom in here. There's over, I think, 30 courses, Etsy Success Roadmap, showing you exactly what to do and how to implement a lot of the strategies that have helped me be successful on the platform. And then there's the community, which we do group coaching calls. You can hop on there, ask questions live, and then you can ask questions inside the forum. Anytime you have a question, just post it in here. I'm in here every single day helping members succeed. My only goal is to help motivate you, give you a safe place where you can come hang out and work on your Etsy business with other like-minded sellers. So that is there if you want to take advantage of that and move a lot faster. But those are the strategies and the keys to success with this framework that definitely works. I've been using it for years, teaching it for years, and a lot of people find a lot of success using this. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I'll be back soon with some more good stuff. Have an amazing rest of your day.